Hello students. So today we are going to study The Fun They Had, chapter 1 of your English book Beehive. This story is set in the future, that is almost 135 years down the line in future, and it will make you all love your school. The story is regarding school life and how those children who do not go to school miss school. The setting of the story is in the future when perhaps there will be no school, no books. Now, how those students will miss going to school and will feel that their ancestors, that is, we people, had fun going to school, meeting, and helping each other. And in the end, we'll come to know that this was just, a figment of imagination of the author of the story. Now we'll discuss something about the author of this story, Isaac Asimov. Uh, he was born in USSR in the year 1920, and further he was brought up in America, that is in New York, and died, after at the age of 72 almost in the year 1992 in New York, USA. He was an American author and professor of biochemistry at Boston University, but he is known for his, lot of writings on science and fiction subjects mainly. He was a prolific writer. He wrote or edited almost 500 books, and he was very famous there. And in fact, he was called as the grandmaster of the science fiction writers of America. Now we'll talk about the protagonists or the main characters of this story. The first one is Margie, a little girl of 11 years old who has habit of writing diary. The second one is Tommy, who is Margie's friend, and he accidentally gets a book about a school in his house, and he tells Margie about the old school uh, which existed, almost 135 years plus ago. So, and the third character of this story is a county inspector. He's a person who comes with a toolbox, dials, and wires to their house and fixes their mechanical teacher, that is the robot. The fourth one is the mechanical teacher or the robot, uh, who looks black and a little ugly. All the lessons, they are shown on the screen of the robot, and then they have to insert their homework into it. So let's have an introduction of the story. The story is about two young children named Tommy and Margie who live in the year 2157, almost 135 years down the line from today. And these children, they get their education through computers at their home, and the teacher is their, robot. So one day they accidentally get a printed book, and they are very surprised to see a printed book. So students, we will now go through the summary of the story. If we go through the story, we can peep into the interesting part of technological world which we can have in the future, say 150 years from now. In the year 2157, Margie makes a diary entry which reveals that Tommy has uh, accidentally come across a book printed on paper. They both talk about the book, which comprises of paper, that is physical book, and they find that this physical book is quite different from the tele book which they are having. The pages of this physical book have turned yellow and crumbled, which proves that the book is very old. The book is peculiar in the sense that the it has the same words on it on a given page, and uh, they have to turn over to the next page, and the text or the letters that are printed or written on that book, they are fixed, whereas when it comes to their telebook, they can just flip over the uh, uh, pages, and on the same screen they find new material of their interest. So they were quite surprised to see the physical book. And Tommy feels that this physical book is of no value, whereas uh, in their tele book, they are having millions of books, and they can see or study so many things on a given single screen. Initially, Margie is not interested to know about the something that happened in the past, but later on, she grows curious to know about the school that existed in the past. Then they are also surprised to know there were human teacher in the past. She argues that how come a human can be as smart as our robotic teacher. Then gradually, Margie develops interest in knowing about the school as she was very much astonished to visualize that so many students from same place go to the school together, play together, and have a lot of fun together, like you people have. With almost 1,000 plus students in your school, you can learn a lot through them. You can mingle with them. You can play with them. A lot of fun. So, students, it was all about the story in short. So, what you are supposed to do now is just go through the story. Then, you are supposed to visualize your regular school classroom and the virtual classroom of future. And then you have to write down about the advantages and disadvantages of both the types. Then you are supposed to write the summary of the story in your own words, and it will be nice if you attempt the questions that are given in the end of the story. So this is the first part of the slides. Later on, we'll discuss about the story in detail in the next part. Till then, goodbye.